Israel Adesanya blasts the UFC for erasing Francis Ngannou from the history books, as Izzy aims to become the promotion's first three-time middleweight champion this weekend at UFC 305. The last stylebender is voicing his frustration with a disappointing decision by Dana White and the UFC. On August 10th, the UFC 305 Countdown documentary dropped on YouTube, and fans quickly noticed a controversial edit in the pre-fight press conference between Dricus Du Plessis and Israel Adesanya. The UFC 305 Countdown appeared to edit out the mention of Ngannou. Specifically, the clip showed Izzy criticizing Du Plessis for disrespecting the three kings, Adesanya, Kamaru Usman, and Francis Ngannou. However, Ngannou's mention in Adesanya's statement was cut from the final Countdown video, sparking widespread backlash from fans who saw it as an attempt by the UFC to erase the former heavyweight champion. Adesanya voiced strong criticism over the removal of Francis from UFC history books. "You can never erase Francis's history from the UFC. I'll say that," he told ESPN MMA. "It's part of history. We need to fix this." I don't like that. I don't like the fact that we're just trying to cut out a really important part of history. It's silly, but we'll fix that. That's for later on, but we'll fix that. Izzy shared his views on the erasing of history, saying that while he gets the UFC's competition with the PFL, he criticizes any attempt to downplay or ignore Ngannou's achievements. "I respect Francis so much. He's an inaugural part of what we've done in the UFC. Right now, I know that there's competition between other promotions in the UFC and battles, but again, you can never erase history. The streets and the internet will always remember no matter what. I think that they will fix this eventually, but it's just a lot of chest puffing," he stated, adding how the UFC are smart people and they'll rectify this eventually. At the media scrum of the Dana White's Contender Series this week, Dana stated that Conor McGregor's long-awaited return fight won't happen in 2024, but Michael Chandler thinks this might be a trick to lure fans into a promotional trap. Just hours after the press conference, Notorious fired back at Dana White's comments. In a now-deleted tweet, he dismissed the timeline, insisting December is the date, and shouted in all caps, "We want December. We deserve December." Chandler admits misinformation is part of Dana White's promotion strategies. Quote, "There's no reason why Conor can't fight this year. Obviously, you know that I can fight this year, but I think it comes down to scheduling," he stated. "November, you've got MSG that's already kind of booked up, and before that, you've got Abu Dhabi. December is that big pay-per-view card. Cap off the year with a huge pay-per-view. Chandler versus McGregor makes a lot of sense." But Chandler's and McGregor's comments totally clash with what Dana said. Chandler, with a grin, admitted that the promo game is all about knowing when to share the truth and when to mix in some lies. Dana, as much as we love him, he has also said some things that were just absolutely false in press conferences and whatnot, which is his job. His job is sometimes to give you the exact information you need. His job is also sometimes to give you misinformation. So sometimes saying that the fight isn't happening this year might mean that the fight is happening this year. Michael Chandler calls for Max Holloway fight in case he loses to Ilia Topuria. Chandler's dream of fighting Conor McGregor seems increasingly distant. After McGregor's broken toe injury led to the cancellation of their anticipated UFC 303 bout, Chandler has been patient but is exploring other potential matchups. Chandler, a former three-time Bellator lightweight champion, is keen to secure another title shot as soon as possible. One intriguing possibility is the BMF title, currently held by Max Holloway. Holloway earned this prestigious belt by knocking out Justin Gaethje in the 5th round at UFC 300 in April 2024. Holloway is set to defend his featherweight title against Ilia Topuria at UFC 308 on October 26, 2024. If Holloway doesn't succeed in reclaiming the featherweight title, Chandler sees an opportunity to challenge him for the BMF crown. This potential path could offer Chandler a significant chance to add a new title to his resume. "I've got Max beating Topuria because you never bet against Max ever unless I were to fight him," Chandler told Lucky Block. "I hope Max overwhelms him and keeps that distance, and keeps throwing punches in bunches and lands more punches. That's the way that I would see it go. But man, Topuria is the real deal. If Max did go ahead and lose, then me and Max could fight for the BMF belt. Who wouldn't want to see just sheer violence? Me versus Max for the BMF title. Who do you think would have won in a fight between Chandler and Holloway? Leave your comments below." Dricus Du Plessis says the reason why Adesanya lost to Strickland is because Izzy doesn't throw volume. Sean's style didn't suit him at all. "I think it was an off night," Du Plessis said at UFC 305 Media Day. It was very evident in terms of how he fought. Just the whole fight, you could see it. But then I fought Strickland and my whole perception around that fight changed, because I know firsthand experience what it's like to fight Sean Strickland. He's hard to hit. With Izzy, he doesn't throw volume. He's pinpoint accurate with his strikes, or at least he tries to be. He's more of a move hit. And when he fought Strickland, he missed all those shots. Strickland is really good defensively. When I fought Strickland, I immediately realized that's what happened. I threw volume so I could catch him and I could beat him. But Israel doesn't throw the volume, so every time he threw, he missed the shots. He had 2, 3 maximum, and he would miss. Originally, I thought Israel had an off night, and then after fighting Strickland and going to watch that fight again, I actually think it was just Strickland that did what he does extremely well, and that style didn't suit Israel at all. Israel Adesanya praises Alex Pereira's impressive run in the light heavyweight division. Izzy doesn't hold a grudge against Pereira due to their history with one another, and the same can be said for Poatan. Both men have been very complimentary of one another now that their feud has been settled, at least for the time being. In a Fight Week interview with Daniel Cormier, Adesanya took the time to give props to the man that has caused him more problems inside the cage or ring than anyone else. Adesanya said, "I watched the Pereira fight again last night. It was on YouTube and I was just like scrolling past and I watched it, and there was certain sequences I was just like, I was making him move back. I was really pushing him back, and for me, I'm so happy with what he's doing right now. I'm like, bro." After Cormier responded by asking, "Can you believe how good this dude is?" To which Adesanya made it very clear that he knows better than almost anyone just how good Pereira is. "I know. I fought him 4 times. I know. Bro, every time I fought him, I knew I could get him till he got me. And then now, here we are." Alex Pereira's next opponent in the UFC is set to be one of the most anticipated matchups of his career. As Pereira continues his ascent in the light heavyweight division, all eyes are on who will step into the octagon with the Brazilian powerhouse next. Speculation is swirling that Pereira could face one of the top contenders in the division, someone with the grappling skills to test his striking dominance. Fighters like Magomed Ankalaev or Jan Błachowicz are being mentioned as potential opponents, both of whom would present unique challenges for Pereira. Who do you think Pereira will fight next? Now, here are some of the comments you guys left on our previous video. Hamzat, "I'm here to kill candy bars." Connor, "But Uncle Dana, fight or shut up and fade into oblivion, leprechaun." Ankalaev had a shot at the title and pulled a boring performance. Dana's probably still pissed. Darren Till, "Giving advice to Izzy is more outrageous than a cook telling a chef how to season a dish." Khamzat would have lost to Robert Whittaker in Saudi Arabia. Bobby was too on point that night. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on daily MMA news.